Now let's bring in our next guest, Anthony Saccaro. He's a lawyer, but don't hold that against him. He is the founder and president of Providence Financial and Insurance Services, a retirement income store located right outside of LA. Thank you so much for being back on the show, Anthony.
Dave, thank you for having me. Great to be here.
So you, like the majority of us, weren't always an income specialist. You know, you did other things in the past that were more growth oriented. Now you look back and I know you're excited that you made the change, but what fueled that change and what do you see as being the greatest benefits right now for your clients?
Well, one of the things is having been affiliated with you for well over the last decade, maybe even a dozen years, it became very obvious that you have to invest appropriately for the phase of life. And if you're in retirement, you need income. That's going to be the determining factor whether you fail or succeed in your retirement. And if you need income in retirement, then you must invest for income. And once that clicked, like it does with a lot of retirees, I started focusing on that because retirees are my practice.
So what are some of the benefits you see today when you do reviews with clients that you see under this new model that maybe you didn't see before under your old model?
Yeah, well, under the old model, the challenge is that you are just taking random, wild guesses. If we assume that the stock market is going to do 5% a year, that's a guess. We don't know whether it's going to do that. And you can hardly do any planning at all when you are guessing. It's a garbage in, garbage out scenario. But when you're invested for income, we're not guessing. There's a whole universe of options out there that we know how much is going to pay if you hold them for a year. So we don't have to guess. It takes the guesswork out of it, and it helps our clients retire with peace of mind because there is no guessing in there.
Awesome. Now, I want to switch gears with you for just a minute because also, first and foremost, you're a financial advisor, you're a business owner. I know you're a lawyer, but really, you're a financial advisor, you're a business owner. So what are the benefits that you see as a business owner, the leverage, the economies of scale, if you will, being part of the retirement income store as someone who's already has a wildly successful financial practice?
Yeah, well, what it does is it allows me to leverage the marketing that the retirement income store does. The retirement income store is trying to counter the false message that Wall Street has been putting out there for many years. You got to invest for growth. You got to be in the stock market. And the only way to get income is to sell shares whenever you need it. That's false. That's not true. And someone has to step up in order to counteract that, because I believe there's an epidemic of baby boomers that are going to get into their 80s that have bought into the Wall Street lie that are going to run out of money. And the retirement income store is really the counter approach to that, in that the education is about investing right for the phase of life you're in. And that's what I find is the leverage as a business owner that I can't provide on my own. It's huge. Awesome.
Great words of wisdom. Let's switch gears one more time. Let's talk about the economy in general today, where the world is. And, you know, you're sitting here talking to the income generation, as you have on the show many, many times before. You know, what would you tell them is important today when it comes to their money, given where the economy is, given where the markets are, et cetera?
Oh, I feel like we're in another 2007 type period. I feel like there's a euphoria that we haven't had for a long time. We are currently in the longest bull market this country's ever seen. As of August of 2018, there's never been one longer. And the reality is, from a common sense standpoint, we know nothing goes up forever. But behind the scenes, I believe the last decade has been artificially built. The economy is built on a house of sand. Printing money, artificial. Stock buybacks, the number one driver of the economy in the last 3 years, completely artificial. So the reality is you got to be super careful right now, because we're going back with the deregulation to what it was like in 2007. It's not going to continue forever. If you're retiring in the next 5 to 10 years, be super, super cautious.
Now, 45 seconds we have left. I know there are some people watching who are saying, but the market's going up and up and up. I could squeeze out another 20, 30%. If they're thinking that, and if they're part of the income generation, then what would you tell them?
I would tell them to be very, very careful. The reality is the risk worth the reward? The market on 5 different occasions over the last 4 or 5 years has had double-digit drops in just a period of maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Last December, there were 20% drop. Bottom line is it's going to go down. It's going to go down fast. You're not going to be able to get out like you think you are.
Yeah, true. The market tends to, what do they say? The market goes up on the stairs and it goes down on the elevator. And I think that's very much true. And if you're that close to retirement, you just can't afford that risk. So, Anthony, thanks so much once again for being part of the show. We always love you having here, and it's always good to say hi to a good friend. You stay with us too. You stay with us too. We have much more coming up right here in a moment on the Income Generation. We'll be right back.